Thank you, Professor Riordan. Now, please, Dr. Notbeam, Vice-Chancellor, University of Southampton.
Well, thank you very much for the invitation. I've never known Vice-Chancellors to speak for 5 minutes or so, but we seem to be doing quite well. I would like, firstly, to thank our hosts, and particularly for the hospitality shown to us by your university president. I'd very much like to thank students for coming in today. I'm aware that this is your summer break, and for many of you, this is above and beyond your normal responsibilities. And I'd particularly like to thank you for allowing us to speak in English. If we were speaking in Spanish, it would be a very short presentation. I should introduce my university because it may not be known to many of you. University of Southampton is a medium-sized university on the south coast of the United Kingdom. We have about 22,000 undergraduate and postgraduate students, 25% of whom are international students. We have a future commitment to further internationalize our work, both in terms of the students and staff we attract to the university and the nature of the experience that we offer to our students. We're quite famous in the UK for our engineering, for electronics and computer science, for medicine, for ocean and earth studies, and for our humanities and social sciences. And I suspect we're one of very few universities that has a centre for the understanding of Mexican culture and society. I can't claim that it's the only one. That would be dangerous because someone else will say we've got one, but there are very few, I think, in the United Kingdom. I think it's quite a challenge, as you'll have heard from my colleagues, for us to provide an international experience for our staff and for our students on the university campus, and a real struggle for us to encourage our students in the UK to visit other countries. We have less of a problem, I think, in attracting students from other countries to our campuses for a whole range of reasons. But I think there are some very practical things that we can do to further foster and support international cooperation. Nice though it is for university rectors, vice-chancellors like myself to come to visit Mexico, I believe very strongly that our future in internationalization rests with person-to-person exchange among students and particularly among our junior faculty at an early stage in their career, so that they have the opportunity early in their career to develop links across countries and to gain experience of the different culture and the different ways of delivering education and conducting research. And so for me, the efforts of the British Council, Mexican government, and individual universities to foster this person-to-person exchange are really critical to the future of internationalization and the future development of better understanding of our cultures. As one of my colleagues has mentioned, this doesn't always have to be a physical exchange. We're getting better and better at using IT to conduct, for example, cross-country international educational programs. We're also, I think, beginning to develop some much more innovative ways of delivering programs between universities, allowing students to spend part of their time in one university, part of their time in another university to get double degrees. At my own university, we're concentrating on 2 or 3 really very practical things to try to facilitate a better exchange in this way. Firstly, as I've said, in terms of the limited resources that we have to devote to this, we're devoting those resources to person-to-person exchange, trying to provide scholarships to enable students from other countries, including Mexico, and for junior staff, junior faculty from other universities to come to visit us, and to allow our own students the opportunity to visit and spend time in other countries. Very importantly, we're trying to make much more widely accessible language education. Our biggest problem, as my colleagues have mentioned time and again, is that we have not had the commitment in our education system to learning a second language. We've depended so much, as I am today, on others being able to speak English. In my university, we have a very strong language teaching facility, and we're now trying to open this up to all of our students and to our staff to enable them to learn a second language, whatever they're studying while at our university, because I believe this is one of the most important ways in which we can further foster student exchange and the internationalization of the experience of our local UK students. The final point I would make is that we have to make it both affordable and comfortable. We are trying to find ways in which we can provide financial assistance to faculty and students visiting our university, and in particular, we're trying to find ways of offering them a reasonable quality of accommodation while they're with us. And it is, for me, these practical things that will lead us to the sorts of important outcomes from internationalization, such as world peace. If we don't get the practical things right, being able to study a second language, being able to afford to move around, using IT successfully, and having some level of comfort when you travel. If we don't get those right, then we won't achieve our long-term goals. Thank you very much.